Hello everyone, welcome back to the Visual Novel Backlog. This time I'm going to be playing Pentiment. This was a game that was recommended from a friend of mine. It has a medieval setting and aesthetic. There's going to be mystery and murder, which at the time I'm recording this, it is Halloween, so that sounds like a perfect way to spend my day. So we're going to begin a new file. I'm okay with using the stylized formats. I should be able to handle it. I will change it if needed. In principio erat erba. Okay, all of this is in Latin, so no, I don't know how to translate that. We've got this smudged portion. So this is showing us to move and press the stone. Though I'm not sure what they want us to press. Oh. So it's acting kind of like an eraser, just removing all this history. I love the illumination designs. They're so pretty. Looks like we've got some math and schematics in this one versus the more story. This looks like it could be music. The eyes on that middle rabbit are so funny to me. I think that's Taschling, Bavaria, Holy Roman Empire, April 1518. An artist sleeps. An artist's mind. And the abbot said to me, Andreas. Okay, we've got our first options to choose from here. I don't want you distracting the sisters in the library. I need you to finish the commission by the end of April, or keep your conversations with Brother Piero to a minimum. I'm gonna go with the job. Isn't that much earlier than you were expecting? Yes, he had told me I had until the Ides of May. Asshole. And he's not going to pay you anymore, is he? He has no appreciation for the cost of your sweat. The yields of labor should not be measured in coin, but in personal satisfaction and self-improvement. Personal satisfaction doesn't put much food on the table, though, does it? How did you reply to the abbot, Andreas? Okay. I said I would do my best to get it done by the end of April. I told him it would be done when it was done, sometime before the Ides of May. I shrugged and kept on working. Okay, I would probably go with the first one and just suck it up and try to do it, which is not a healthy work boundary, but what can you do? With discipline and mindfulness, you will persevere. If you don't kill yourself striving to meet the abbot's unreasonable expectations. What what she said. What's the point in burning your candle to the nub for the idiot abbot's sake? Despite the abbot's ire, you must endure. Soon you will have finished both the abbot's work as well as your masterpiece. And then you will return to Nuremberg, where marriage and your new life as a master awaits you. The underlined word to access a glossary. Oh! Okay, Nuremberg. Free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire. Major trade center and city of arts, including printing. Very cool. Yes, marriage to someone he has never met. Hardly ideal. Well, the alternative is becoming a philosopher. Oh, Jesus, then you should definitely get married. Is she pretty at least? Okay, that's what my brother said in his letter. Maybe he's just trying to lift my spirits. The small portrait they sent was lovely, but we artists can be flatterers. Oh, who knows? That's not why I'm doing it anyway. Well, since we are playing an artist, I'll go with the second one. It is growing late. The wheel of time stops for no man, Andreas. I fear you must leave us. Ah, true, your majesty. Will you visit us again soon? Hopefully, but it's out of my control. I don't know. Well, I can't always dream of this place. I'll go with the first one. As are many things, trust in Providence. Grobian, please see Andreas safely home. Of course, your majesty. Until next time, Andreas. Until next time, your majesty. Pay no mind to the other fools, Andreas. I never do. Ow! At least I would if they'd stop stepping on my feet. Watch where you're going. They're fools, Andreas. No point in trying to teach them anything. I know old John wants you to endure the abbot's shit, but since I take you home, I get the last word. Don't let him run you ragged, boy. I won't. The abbot can't push me around. He's just trying to keep order in the abbey. I'm an outsider. It will be fine. I don't want to cause any trouble. You know, I'm gonna go with the first one. I'm gonna stick up for myself a little now that I'm outside of the ears of Socrates, the king, and this beautiful woman, Beatrice. That's what I like to hear. Would you please stop? Uh-oh. I give up. Take me home, Grobian. As you wish, Andreas. I like the little guy with his tongue sticking out. Oh, you're so cute. Good morning, Ursula. How would I read that? Andor. Time to get up. The Baron, April 1518. Alright, there's a few things for us to interact with. This is also flashing, so let's see what this is. Alright, a few more pages. Prime hour 6. Another day, another few pages for the abbot, and hopefully a few for myself. I need to get across town and head up to the abbey so I can start work at the scriptorium. Okay, here's a map. So this will take us to the other locations, I'm guessing. Where did he say he needs to go? You need to get across town and head up to the abbey. Okay. There's the abbey. And we're here at the farm. This is the greater task. tassing area. So this abbey, I think, is where we're going to go later. But there's still stuff to do. All right. So Brother Piero of Verona, artist of Kierson Abbey, or Kiersau Abbey, known for his kindness and helpful nature. Brother Piero is also respected as a master painter, specializing in works of extraordinary color. Ursula Gertnerin is the daughter of Peter and Clara, half-sister of Eva and Big Jorg. She's also very cute. Okay, I'm guessing this is where we're going to collect things as we touch them in the glossary, and this is us. Wonderful. Alright, there's a few things in here, so let's walk around. I should really clean this up. The Picatrix Key of Solomon, the Heptameron, Prior Ferenc keeps giving me all of these books to read. Hold on. I know I've probably missed a couple glossary things, so I want to try to get as many of them as I can. Okay, so we've like pointed to it, but I don't think we got anything out of that. That's to go to bed. Let's head downstairs. Andrew. Oh, she's so silly. Let's talk to Clara. Good morning, Andreas. Did you sleep well? Quite well, actually. Ordinary as far as sleeping. Not well, but I will say quite well. It wasn't a bad dream. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Anyway, I know you'll be off to the Abbey, so I packed you some food. Almonds, cheese, and some of the rye you like from the Albans. Otto wanted to meet to ask you to join him for dinner at the Abbey. Okay, so the glossary pages for the last two are just to show us a picture of the character. Otto stopped by. Is this just to give us another... Okay. So we don't need to click on repeat ones. And I think the dotted lines are... like, we already know that. Yes, around dawn. Here you are, Andreas. Be polite. That's too kind of you, Clara. Master Andreas, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, I mean, could we... Wouldn't it be too much trouble if you paid next month's rent today? And if we raised by 2 groschen? A groschen is a type of thick silver coin minted throughout the Holy Roman Empire. Groschen are typically worth 12 pfennigs, but may be minted at different values. Sounds terribly inconvenient. I hate to ask, but we're behind on our taxes to the Abbey. 2 months behind. Peter's losing his hair of it. Even more than usual, I mean. Okay. It's not a problem at all. Besides, we wouldn't want Peter to lose any more of his precious hair. I suppose it's not out of the question. I think I can manage. I can't promise anything. I'll see what I can do. Were these taxes unexpected? I'm gonna be honest. Of course, I understand. I hate to even ask it of you. Our taxes get harder to pay every year. Peter works hard, but it just never seems like it's enough. St. Luke bless you for helping us out. A Christian evangelist and patron, saint of artists, physicians, often represented by a winged bull. Speaking of St. Luke, how is your masterpiece coming along? It's been 2 months, hasn't it? Slowly, I'm afraid. Most of the days are spent doing work for the Abbey. It's only during the divine office that Prior Faring allows me to work on my masterpiece. The prayer times observed by all Christian monastic orders. Monks and nuns pray together 7 times a day and once at night, as dictated by the rule of St. Benedict. A reasonable restriction, but slow going. The city council doesn't require it to become a master. I'm making it mostly to show clients, and for my own sake. And yes, when I do finish, I will go back to Nuremberg, where I will marry and open a workshop of my own. From Nuremberg to a university, and now traveling the world as an artist. What a life you have ahead of you, Master Andreas. Yes, I suppose it does feel like I'm starting a new chapter of my life, after a few mistakes, some wandering, or a little too much fun. I'm gonna say a few missteps. Must be rather frightening, starting all over again. I owe it to my family to make something of my life. It is, but I know that this is what I want to do. I want to be an artist. Not many people get to decide that. Certainly, not anyone in passing. Anyway, I don't know anything about art, but I've seen you sketching such beautiful things in your little book. Your masterpiece must be wonderful. It's my finest work. It's getting there. Hard to say until it's done. I'll say it's getting there. I don't want to be too self-deprecating, but I also don't want to be overconfident in myself. Hard work will get you all the way. That's what my father used to say, God rest his soul. No, it didn't let me click that. I have to go back to my own work. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas. And we'll see you after Vespers for supper. Monastic hour at dusk. One of the major prayer hours, it is followed by supper. Not tonight, but thank you, Klaus Drucker. Invited me over for supper. Of course. Please say hello to the Druckers for us. Of course. Until later, Clara. Okay, let's talk to Ava. Hello, Andreas. Is that it? I guess so. Yep. Alright, let's go to the farm. Or go outside, at any rate. Hey, Andreas. You say hello to the girls today? Ava and Clara? Alright. Oh, we get a portrait of both of them. This little snail is so cute. No, I mean the chickens. Peter, James, and John. They like it when you broke their back or stroke their back. Or give them a good scratch under the breast. I like how there's like little things that it's like fixing as though the person who's writing the manuscript has made an error. Named your chickens after the apostles? Isn't that blasphemy? I guess when you put it plain like that. Oh, he's so sad. But I hear about the apostles every Sunday in Mass. They witnessed Jesus' greatest moments of glory and his darkest trials. And I was thinking, that's how it is with the girls and me. They see everything I deal with around here. That makes perfect sense to me, Big York. You have much in common with Christ. Word of advice, don't mention that to anyone else, especially the Father. I don't want to be cynical. You're making fun. It's fine, I get it. I'll just call them the girls from now on. I don't recall your family eating eggs. What do you do with all of them? Oh, we sell them to the Bowers. Clara says we need the extra money for taxes. Anyway, I should get back to it. Until later, Andreas. Until then. Okay, let's head this way. Andreas. Yeah, so he's not a man of many words either. So here are our chickens. They're little chickies. So cute. God bless you. Andreas. Oh, yes, Andreas. This weather's been awful. This town's gone to shit since my days. Can't do much about the weather. Things very different when you were young. Now let's hear him out. As different as beer and piss. The old abbot didn't bother us much about our customs. He didn't mind if we left a little offering to Perchta? To keep the skies clear, the weather fair. Perchta is a pagan goddess of the Alps associated with animals and spinning wool. She's still invoked by some Christians in Austria, Switzerland, Bavaria, and Swabia. Matthias knew that Christ was in our hearts, even if the White Lady's name was on our lips. Alright. The church banned all observances of pagan gods. What sort of old customs? I thought St. Moritz protected passing. You think that spirits have been fouling the weather since no one follows the customs anymore? I want to know more about the customs. The kind that scare away witches and keep spirits from calling storm clouds over our farms. The saints weren't the first to watch over tassing. My father knew that. Old Ranning Kemper knew that. Ranning Kemper is the late husband of Ottilia. That bastard abbot may not like it, but some of us keep the traditions alive. Like the old widow. I won't mention that at the abbey. What do these traditions entail? I'll say like the old widow. Yes, she always hangs the door frame with lavender to keep the spirits out. I'll say, I see. I should go. All right, God bless you. All right, so we've got some sheep and some pigs. Okay, that just takes us further into the farm. This takes us... Oh! Morning, Andreas. Morning, Big York. How's it going? You working today? Just taking a rest for a bit. Dad's still in the field. He hit a big rock with the plow, and it took me Lord knows how long to pull it out. You off to the abbey? Every day but Sunday. Right, thank God for Sundays. Smells like a storm's coming, no? Huh. Just smells like fresh alpine all air to me. You've been traveling too much. Where was it you spent your Wanderjahre before you came to Tassing? Is it like a wander year? Wandering years, during which a journeyman, artist, or craftsman travels far and wide to improve their skills. I'm obsessed with this cat. Oh my god. Like, what is even happening? This dog is like, Ooh. Okay, so pick a background that will affect your character's choices going forward. Press and hold to confirm your choice. Basil. Andrea knows some Italian and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Basel and nearby Bern, Zurich, and Friedberg. The Low Countries knows some Dutch and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Antwerp, Bruges, and Ghent. Or Italy knows Italian, a little Greek, and can reference cultural touchstones from Florence, Venice, and Milan. Ooh. So I think if you went to Italy, that's like, dense cultural capital. But is that the direction I want to go? This would be interesting to me because I don't know a lot about these cultural touchstone areas. So it would be informative to me, the player. The Low Countries is interesting to me from a character standpoint because it suggests that he still has like a long way to continue traveling and going to continue improving his art, and also might explain how he could potentially be more sympathetic to the farmers and more rural people in this area who are still trying to preserve these pagan traditions. I'm gonna go with the Low Countries. Yeah, press and hold. Antwerp, Bruges, and Ghent. All the great art cities of Flanders. Where's that? North and west, down by the sea. There's your problem. The sea air has confused your sense of smell. Spend enough time in these mountains and you'll be able to smell a storm coming. How long will that take? 10, 15 years? I don't think I have that long, Big Jorg. What'd you spend all that time in Flanders doing anyway? Other than art, I mean. Okay, pick a background. Okay, so hedonist. Seeks out pleasure wherever he goes, extremely social, quite experienced in all of the enjoyable vices of the world. Lives to work and dedicates all his time to his art as a craftsman. Bookworm. Spends all of his non-working free time finding and reading as many books as he possibly can. Penchant for getting involved in petty schemes, pranks, minor crimes, and fistfights. Devotes much of his time to self-promotion, optimizing business expenses, making investments, and balancing his books as a businessman. I know what I would pick, and that's bookworm, because I am a bookworm. Craftsman, I think, also makes sense for how I would play this character. I'm sure there's a lot of really really things you can get into if he's this hedonist who spent his time wandering and meandering, and you choose the option about ignoring all of the women in the library and stuff. I can see how those things would gel together. Rapscallion would be interesting, but I feel like you would be much more combative and antagonistic towards some of these people. And businessman would make him seem very miserly, considering that he was hesitant to offer to help out with the taxes when he was talking to Clara. So I can see how these different things would configure, but I just love playing a bookish character. Reading mostly. Talking about books, I couldn't get enough of it. Flanders has some of the most incredible manuscript illustrations in Christendom. And the books they produce are treasures, every one. I didn't realize that books meant that much to you. I've seen Father Thomas's Bible and a few other books. Haven't had much use for the reading, though. Anyway, I have to get going. Jorg, let's go. Dad's already acting like I'm taking too long, even though I did all the work to get that rock out. See you later, Andreas. Until later. Alright, let's head deeper into the town. Ow! Andreas, good timing. Do you have a moment to lend me a hand? I'm already late to the Abbey. I swear it won't be long. Alright then. Wonderful. I've got too many irons in the fire. Or rather shoes. Horseshoes. I miscounted how many I put in. Now I need a hand, else they'll overheat and I won't be able to work the metal. Here, take the shoe and the tongs. Put the hot part of the shoe on the anvil, and I'll hit it with the hammer. Oh. Well done. See? Short work. Thanks for the help, Andreas. I don't know what I was thinking all of those at once. It sure would be nice to have someone to help me out here every day. Considered apprentice, a child. Don't look at me, painting is hard enough. I have. None of the boys in the village seem interested. Keep at them. I bet you could get Bert Drucker. Aww, what a little scamp. Ha! Klaus would have my head if I tried. Anyway, I wanted to take up many more of your time. I'll see you in Otto up by the Abbey guest house for dinner. Until then. Okay. Are we not able to go up here? There we go. Martin, please. Can you give me a hand here? What do you want? I'm keeping an eye on them. That looks a lot like standing there and doing nothing. Martin, for Christ's sake, help your cousin. I like that. Like, now that I'm picking up on it, every time they, like, take the Lord's name in vain, like, it takes a little while for it to fill in with red. Like, they're not supposed to be saying that. I think that's kind of funny. Morning, Andreas. Excuse us. One of the fence rails fell and the sheep started hopping it. Is there something I can do to help? Excuse me. I'll try to stay out of your way. Or call Martin an idiot. I mean, Martin is an idiot. He should help them. Mind your own business, asshole. Martin, that's enough. And Andreas, leave the discipline to my mother. Oh, look. There's something going on up at the Steinauer's place. Who's that on the horse? Looks rich. I don't know, Martin, but Lucky is giving him an earful. Christ, I haven't seen Lucky that worked up since Peter and Clara's wedding when Johann pulled his pants down. Knocked two of my man's teeth out. You don't want to feel the strength behind a stonemason's anger. Do you think he's a noble? He looks really rich. God damn it, Martin, stay out of trouble for once. What, Aunt Hetty? Behave yourself. Don't we have enough to deal with right now? Andreas, if you wouldn't mind moving your skinny little body up the road, we need to get these sheep under control. Of course. See you later. Help your aunt and your cousin, all right? Eat shit, Andreas. What a rude man. Okay, can't go that way. I was wondering if I could just, you know, help them out with those sheep in particular. Morning, Andreas. How's it going? Morning, Klaus. Another day at the Abbey, another few hours to work on my masterpiece. Good to hear. You still coming by for supper tonight? Marie and Bert would love to see you. Ooh. Aw, this must be her boy. They have beautiful hair. You really need to see these new woodcuts I have for an Italian edition of Till Eulenspiegel. The titular character of a popular 15th century book, Till is a prankster, continually exposing the vices and hypocrisy of others. He is also quite skilled at tricking people into smelling, touching, or eating his excrement. Yuck. I didn't realize, Father Thomas, that you print books in Italian. Come on, Andreas. He's not that strict. I know he's just trying to protect people from heresy, mania, witch mania, adventure stories of questionable moral repute, your sloppy typesetting. Let's not be too mean to him. He doesn't mind those so much, actually. No? As long as they don't get too carnal. Oh. So supper tonight, after Vespers? Of course. Thank you. Great. I'll tell Marie and Bert you're coming. See you then. See you later. Alright, so we will be back here later. God bless Master Mailer. I hope your week is going well. Thank you, Father. It's going quite well. I'm just on my way up to the hill to get to work. I'm running late to the Abbey. Don't draw attention to the fact that we're late. Good. Andreas, I don't recall seeing you at Sunday morning Mass. You understand how important it is for your salvation that you receive Holy Communion, don't you? Yes, I apologize, Father Thomas. I promise you I'll make it this Sunday. I do, but I've been working on sketches late at night and... sigh. Let's just tell him this even if it's not true. You don't have to make a promise to me, but our salvation is contingent on the... Oh my! What a blessed day to receive such an illustrious visitor. I like the little cartoony workers in the field. They're so cute. Master Mailer, this is Lorenz Baron of Rothvogel, a great lord from the countryside of near Worms. Prosperous imperial free city in the western part of the empire, located in the Rhine River. Worms has been the site of many imperial diets. Good to see you, Father Thomas. It is nice to be remembered fondly. I only wish all of your neighbors were as becoming or welcoming. Well, yes. What brings you back to our little town? My wife and I were returning from a trip to Venice. We spent a few days in Innsbruck, and it was terribly dull. Okay, so Venice is one of the most powerful republics on the Italian peninsula. Sitting on the northwest coast of the Adriatic Sea, Venice is a major center for commerce and art in southern Europe. Innsbruck is the capital of the Austrian county of Tyrol and major stop on the imperial road connecting Italy and Bavaria. It is the closest major city to Kirsau Abbey and Tassing, notably. It was also the site of witch trials in 1485. I mean, it has a certain charm common to these alpine cities, but the place has crawling birth nobles for the emperor's diet. An imperial diet is an assembly of the three colleges of the imperial estates of the Holy Roman Empire: the prince-electors, the princes and dukes, and the representatives of the imperial cities. They meet to deliberate on matters of importance to the empire. The emperor? Was he there? Did you see him? Oh, briefly, but he was sitting for a portrait at the time. Quite lovely. I didn't want to bother him, or the painter. I mean, this is what I would personally care more about. But I am curious about this. So let's ask. So why was the diet assembled? Oh, nothing you need to worry about. Austrian things, Habsburg things, boring even for nobles. The Austrian House of Habsburg has ruled the Holy Roman Empire since 1452 AD, when Frederick III was crowned emperor by Pope Nicholas V in Rome. Anyway, my wife wanted to stay a bit longer in Innsbruck, and I decided to ride ahead to make a visit to Kirsau. I heard Father Matthias died shortly after my last visit, of course. abbot of Curacao before Father Gurnall, widely respected by the monks and nuns as well as the people of Tassing, known for his kindness and his love of books. A great loss for the abbey and for us all. Indeed. By good fortune, I recently came across a copy of the Historia Tassiae he was reading during my last visit. An account of the early history of Tassing. Curaçao's previous abbot, Father Matthias, had a copy Baron Rothvogel brought another to the abbey as a gift. Father Matthias was hoping to find a second copy to corroborate the contents of the first. It contained some fascinating details about the history of this place. I'm afraid they might even cause a bit of a scandal. Yes. But I must be off. There will be time enough to discuss Tassing's past later. I commissioned a manuscript from the abbey through Father Gurnall, and I have come to check on its progress. Oh, my lord, if you have come to see your manuscript, you should speak with young Master Mallet here. Not quite a true master yet. I still have to marry and be approved by our city council. It's an honor to meet you, my lord. I mean, if Father Thomas wants to represent me as a master, I'm not going to deny it. Andreas is a journeyman artist from Nuremberg. For the next few months, he's also helping in the abbey's scriptorium, which is a room for writing, illustrating, and illuminating manuscripts. Though typically associated with monasteries, they have disappeared from almost all abbeys by the 16th century. A Nuremberger artist working in an abbey scriptorium in 1518? Oh, we should talk, Andreas. I must know the story. Of course, my lord, it would be an honor. I'm already late to the abbey, but I suppose it's all right. Surely my lord would find little entertainment or companionship with me. No, this is a good networking opportunity. Besides, I want to know more about that book. Wonderful. It's so rare to find someone in the countryside who knows anything about art. Thank you for the introduction, Father Thomas. Come to supper at the abbey tonight. I'm inviting you to the abbot's table. Uh-oh. Did the abbot invite me? Oh, don't worry about it, Father. Just show up after Vespers. What is he going to do? Refuse us? Excellent. We will see you then. Nicholas, I'm dismounting. Run ahead of us and take the horses to the abbey's guest house. I'd like to take my time talking with Master Mallet. I'll meet you there. At once, my lord. Oh, we've made too many promises to people. So then a journeyman from Nuremberg. Forgive me for saying so, but you seem a little old to not yet be a master. Are you unmarried? No, I'm not married, but in truth, I came to my vocation later than my father and brothers. I was in university for a number of years at Erfurt. Erfurt is one of the most populous cities in the empire and is located near its heart. It has been home to a respected university since 1379 and is the center for humanist thought. Erfurt. Wonderful. The same university as Martin Luther. Have you read his works? Tremendous mind. Scandalous. Priest and professor of theology at the University of Wittenberg. Controversial for his opinions on the church's sale of indulgences to forgive sin, which were recently published and distributed throughout the empire. He says things about the church that should have been said years ago. Might get him into trouble, but he's a brave and brilliant man. Wait, you may have even met him. Did you? You must tell me. No, he was a few years ahead of me. Still, his ideas do seem fascinating. His ideas don't hold much interest. I mean, they're fascinating whether you agree with them or not. I agree wholeheartedly. I simply must meet him if I get the chance. I wonder if the good brothers of the Abbey have heard of him. Perhaps they have even read his list of 95 theses against the church. A list of propositions against the church's practice of selling indulgences for the remission of sin. It was written in 1517 by Martin Luther. Father Matthias was not above having a lively debate. I hope Father Gournot does not disappoint in this regard. But enough about Luther for now. Tell me about your university studies. Did you attend university? You seem very well educated. Why are you so interested in my education? Yeah, let's just let him talk about himself. No, my family is merely wealthy enough to have provided me with all the books and tutors a child could dream of. I love all knowledge from Aristotle and Cicero to Ficino and Erasmus, and everyone in between and yet to come. All right. Aristotle, Greek philosopher and student of Plato, renowned as a polymath, he wrote on a wide variety of subjects. His work is extensively cited by current scholars, and even more work is attributed to him than he could ever have written. Erasmus of Rotterdam, a Dutch priest and philosopher who was preeminent among northern humanists, he is known for his works in Latin and Greek, as well as his calls for reform within the church. Ficino, or Marsilio, was a 15th century Italian priest and humanist who was one of the leading figures of the Italian Renaissance. He is well known for his translations of the works of Plato into Latin. And Cicero is a statesman, scholar, lawyer, and renowned orator of the late Roman Republic. He is revered both for his contributions to Latin literature and his skills at rhetoric. I may have misjudged the Baron. It seems he is as well-read as any university student. In truth, I am simply happy to speak with another well-educated man. Now then, did you earn your doctorate? No, I didn't. Only a master's degree. I started working toward a doctorate, but didn't finish. Oh, that's a shame. Well, what was your area of study? Ooh, okay, theology. Strong understanding of Catholic theology, biblical knowledge, canon law, heresies, and similar subjects. Imperial law. Andreas knows the basics of the fractured systems of law that govern the various states of the Holy Roman Empire. Or medicine. Familiar with the basics of human biology, medicine, and illness. I feel like for reading, one of these two is going to make more sense if he's very interested in reading and art. And the art end, a lot of the impressive, illuminated, and illustrated texts are Bibles and theological in origin. So I am actually going to say theology. As odd as that may seem. Not odd at all. It's a good field to study if you want a position in the church. My late uncle was the abbot of Fulda. I spent many hours reading the manuscripts in their library with his permission. A town built around an old Benedictine abbey near the center of the empire. Fulda's abbots are imperial princes and wield great power. He was a pious enough man, I suppose, but he wielded great power from that abbey. You... If I had any faith, I would have prayed you'd never show your face here again. Curse you, Lorenz Rothvogel. Perched as dogs, tearing you to pieces would be too kind a fate. I like her. These rustic communities display a shocking lack of hospitality, don't you think? What was that about? Who knows? By the time I finish guessing, the old crone will probably be dead. I bet he knows exactly what he did. Well, what of your early time in university? Every student must study the trivium and quadrivium, yes? These represent the lower and upper divisions of a classical liberal arts university education. Latin grammar, logic, and rhetoric form the trivium. Arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy form the quadrivium. Did you have a favorite subject? Okay. Latinist. Strong command of Latin grammar and vocabulary. He can also easily recall sententiae antiquae, quoted words of wisdom from the Roman Republic and Empire. Logician, instinctively thinks through the implications of information as he receives it, is adept at spatial analysis, and can easily perform complicated calculations in his head. Orator, excelled at rhetoric in university, skilled teacher, persuader, public speaker. Oculist, knows a soul-endangering amount of theoretical and practical knowledge on alchemy, astrology, liturgy, necromancy, and various magical rites and ceremonies. Heaven and earth, knows a great deal about the constellations, heavenly bodies, and their movement, and is also familiar with various plants and animals from study and personal experience. Okay, I'm leaning towards one of these three, because those make more sense with reading and art being his primary focus, and they also make sense with theology as like this primary background area. I kind of want to go with orator. The art of persuasion, naturally. Rhetoric. Ah, I assume you studied the Greeks and Romans both. Yes, Aristotle and Cicero, of course, but also Christian thinkers like Augustine and Thomas Aquinas. Okay, the new ones are these two. St. Augustine of Hippo was an early Christian philosopher, theologian, and bishop of Hippo Regius. He is recognized as a doctor of the Church and is most known for his works, The City of God, and his autobiographic confessions, as well as the development of the doctrine of original sin. Thomas Aquinas is an immensely influential philosopher, theologian, and jurist in the tradition of scholasticism. True, we have less use for public discourse than senators did in the Roman Republic. Exactly. The doctors of the Church weren't trying to persuade politicians, but to move the mind toward Christian truth. Still, the principles remain the same. Invent your arguments, then arrange style and internalize them before delivering them to your audience. Splendid. Though I suppose an artist has little sue for rhetoric, especially in a place such as this. Not true. Rhetoric is also an art, and like other forms of art, it should be created for the audience and its purpose. It can be practiced as easily in the streets of a rural town as the Curia of Rome. Though outshone by its northern neighbor Florence, Rome is still the seat of power for the Catholic Church and an impressive center for the arts. Well put. And your other studies? Was there anything else you excelled at? Ooh, we get to pick another one. Again, I still want to lean towards these two. I don't think Oculus really makes sense to me, and that one doesn't appeal to me either. I can also easily recall. I kind of want to go with logician. Logic, geometry, arithmetic. Quite interesting for an artist. Was Aristotle's organon the foundations of your study? Yes, the organon for logic and Euclid's elements for geometry. But the past 2 centuries have yielded wonderful new texts of logic. Mathematician of ancient Alexandria, he is recognized as the father of geometry and is most well known for his books of elements, the foundation of all university education on geometry. Peter Abelard provided the foundation of scholastic philosophy and established the primacy of Aristotle's work. A 12th century French teacher, philosopher, and theologian, he is known for his philosophical works in logic and his theological work in atonement theory. He is also remembered for his love affair with his student, the renowned Benedictine nun, abbess, and scholar Héloïse d'Argenteuil. Probably not pronouncing that correctly, my apologies. The Englishman William of Ockham gave us Summa Logicae, arguing nominalism against Platonic realism. 13th and 14th century English Franciscan philosopher and theologian, known for his commentaries on Peter Abelard's 4 books of sentences, his defense of apostolic poverty, and his writings on faith and reason. And of course, Thomas Aquinas gave us the tools to employ both faith and reason in the pursuit of truth. All monks and friars, of course, a great deal of work to force Aristotle to fit within the Church's vision of truth. Is that so wrong? I question that these great men should have to wrestle with logic into what the Church established by fight and force. Ah, there's the Abbey. I have good memories of this place, and of Father Matthias. I was sad to hear of his passing. How did you come to know him? How did you come to know of Kiersau at all? My family have been patrons of Kiersau for, I don't know how many generations. Some years ago, I heard that Kiersau still had a wonderful library and artisans. Professional artists have taken over most manuscript production, so I was shocked to find an active scriptorium here. Not much left of it these days. 2 old men, a young scribe, and me. This is as good a place as any to create art. The artists that remain here are quite talented, if a bit old-fashioned. Okay. I'm gonna lean towards these 2. I'm not gonna say the second one. Certainly, though, I'm sure you miss the comforts of Nuremberg when you're stuck in a drafty old abbey like this. I'll get back there soon enough. I'm in no rush. I do, but the abbot is paying good money. Good enough to put up with a bit of discomfort. I'll say I'm in no rush. That's good for me, since I still appreciate the abbey's work. I commissioned a manuscript through Father Gurnot a year ago. I thought I would stop by to check on progress. Wait, are you the artist working on it? It's a prayer book with 20 illustrations. I know the work, but no. I do know the artist the venerable Brother Piero. How venerable? He still has his wits and his skills, if that's what concerns you. Brother Piero has an incredible talent with color. Then I very much look forward to seeing it. Oh, thank God, are you going to stop talking? Okay, we've made it to the Abbey. I think this is a good place to stop for today. I'm really enjoying the game so far. I think the art style is incredible. I love filling up the glossary with bits of history. And I'm curious how the character description or backgrounds and things are going to play a role in terms of the longer spanning story and game mechanics. And I think that's going to make it fun to, once I finish my playthrough, go and watch other people play this to see just how different their experience ended up being, if they ended up creating a very different main character than the one that I'm starting to lean toward. So that's all for this episode, but I'll definitely be playing more soon. For now, bye!